Would help if I turned the microphone on, wouldn't it? Welcome. Welcome. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah. So I've got me some fresh water. We're going to shake up our ink. So I realized in previous pages that I've done, I put in some brand new trees that aren't really anywhere else. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. As you can see, we've got the snow-covered pine trees there and here, and they look good. But if you look, this tree over here, this is not a pine tree. This is a something else kind of tree, and there's not any more of those types of trees anywhere in here. So what we're going to do, we're going to add some of these trees in here. That's going to be first step. So let's go ahead, because I already started doing that. And just never actually did that with my pencils. Or I did that with my pencils and just didn't do that with in the inking stage. So let's go ahead and put some pines in here. I'm just gonna stipple this in here. Now this is definitely something that I would have done as an artist technique. You know, that's the theme of that, so. But because I didn't do this yesterday, I didn't stream at all yesterday, we're gonna do this today. So we'll see how far I get and how much effort I want to put into tonight. Or today. It is actually like 1 in the afternoon. Forgetting I don't have to move my paper around since I have a camera stand. It sounds like rain outside. Is that rain outside that I hear? No, it's just wind. Okay. Getting distracted. It sounded kind of intense. So. Normally, I do have the blinds open, so I can actually usually see all the little critters in my backyard. Alright, that's a good looking tree right there. Okay. And we'll do the same thing back here with some of these other trees too. Hi Cooper, welcome. How are you today? We're painting in some of these trees in here because it is absolutely necessary. I feel like I'm cheating a little bit by putting all my pine trees way in the back, so we'll probably pick out a tree that's a little in the foreground here to put some needles on too. Should be a nice mix. Of course, I'm probably going against, you know, tree propagation, but by putting pine trees in the middle of the forest with, I don't even know what kind of other trees I have here. I just put limbs on things. So maybe we'll do... No, we'll do this one. I think this one's a good candidate. Definitely. And maybe another one of these over here. I know, I am losing frames over here, so I don't know what could be causing that. I have not yet learned the technical skills of how to fix that, so one of these days. It does happen every once in a while. I think I want this tree right here to get some of this love going on it. Do that. Do some more down here, and maybe some more over here. Some more up in there. There. Okay. I feel like I kind of want to do the same thing right here for this one. Let's do this. That looks good. I think I want that one too. think it's just very windy outside and lots of trees in the background, so that's probably why it sounds like a whole waterfall right now happening outside my window. Alright, so I think that'll be good for that. So, we have that. Now, this is the cover. One. So, okay, so some of these trees are starting to match up now, so I think I'm in a good spot with that. Take this over here now. Put those there. They're already done. We're going to go right into new page. This is the end of the Technic moment. I'm going to get this background going. Do this whole stippling thing up here too. Definitely let this go off page. Perfect. Perfect. I'm gonna get some of this stuff going on back here. I think the biggest challenge will be, like, I always end up with like these areas of just unused space, not just because it's at the bottom, but it also, like, that's like closer towards the actual front of the scene. Try not to do that. And I keep my images, especially for this book, pretty simple. So everyone has a cloak, and that's kind of meant to be a very simple way to show clothing. But it also has a story reason for it. Frames dropping, that's always fun. Not really. It's so funny how no matter what, I still want to move the paper around. So I'm like, you can't see what I'm doing. And matter of fact, you can actually. You can. Well, I mean, you kind of can with my frames dropping. But that's not a problem I can satisfy by moving the page around. Something like that, just to give that little thing a little more texture. We're going to come over here now. It's going to get thing about inking that I have learned is that you need to trust that the pencil lines are exactly where they're supposed to be, and not try to recreate the drawing with your ink. Like, you want to enhance the lines, but not recreate the lines. So certain touches you can add in, others you just have to trust that everything is where it's supposed to be. Which, even for me, as I only, ink from my own work, is kind of challenging. And that's only because I start noticing things that need to be added. I'm like, okay, well, let me go ahead and drop this back in here. Let me do this. Let me make sure that this gets on, and then it turns into a whole mess. We're about to put a tree over here. So like this right here, what I'm doing, I like, this is exactly what I'm trying to do, is make sure that my trees have leaves, or in this case, they're needles. And it'll make so much more sense when the rest of the trunk is in. But you can tell that you can see that I don't have any lines that sketch out the limbs of this tree. But as long as I have a rough idea of where the tree sits, space, in relation to everything else, it won't be a problem. We can draw some perspective as well, just to help fill out the whole thing. Okay, that looks good. Just bare, but it's good. It's good. We're gonna come back over here now. And we'll kind of do exactly the same back here. Have another person right here. We've got these two right here. This particular part of the scene, my intention was to have them kind of helping each other walk. So I'm going to have at least one of them have their arm visibly draped around the other person. This person more forward, well, more towards us anyway. It's looking really good. Okay. We're kind of going up a hill, so we need to make sure that the trees go up in the same direction. While we're still mostly just dropping in our pine trees. I've had to think about what would happen if I did not finish this project in time. Like, I want to have this book. My goal is to have this book published by December. So, I want to do a giveaway and feature this primarily as, like, the main giveaway prize. But I also wanted to have something published by the end of the year. It is now October. So, we're now in the inking stage of this. And, I mean, that's a good stage to be. Inking means that the project is moving forward, and I'm gaining ground on my goals and what I wanted to accomplish. Big challenge will just be in keeping that momentum. Because once this project is done, I get to move on to, and this is Act 1 of this story. Once Act 1 is done, I get to move on to Act 2. Act 2 is going to take a little effort, because I have to reimagine the first 3 issues that I originally did for it. And that is nowhere near ready for me to work on yet, so do something like that. Get more trees back here in the background. We forgot to lay down some ground back here. We're going to put another tree just over here in the corner. And this is what I mean, like, I always end up missing and just forgetting to, like, fill in some of the area. And spaces just kind of stay empty without me meaning to, without me even really paying attention to the fact that I left an empty space somewhere in the scene. So, you know, all of the, well, not all of the area, but most of the aerial parts of this scene need to be treetops. As we get, can actually go ahead and put that down. Need trees like right in their path, just to fill up the scene. A good friend Solid had asked me, I think it was yesterday or a couple of days ago, what I draw a lot of in my work, and trees, or what oh no, it wasn't Solid, it was a Writhing Virtue, I'm sorry. Trees end up being pretty prominent props in my work. I don't know how more I could confuse those two. And so that's kind of what you're seeing now, is just dropping in some trees. And as we get further back into the scene, the trees will get smaller but also higher. So we know that basically the top of the hill that they walk down is like basically right around in here. So we want the trees to get smaller. My phone has just, well, work text phone just kind of had a moment. And when I get to coloring this, like actually painting it and adding all the fun textures and visual parts, visual textures and the colors and tones and light, this whole act will just be in just a few colors. I'm not gonna be using the entire palette of colors that I have. It'll be mostly brown and blue. Actually, completely brown and blue. Things that need to be not brown and blue will just remain white, because that's really all that is. But some very tall pine trees back here. Our forest. Can go right up to the top of my pencil lines here. Oh my word. I should bring this tree down just a little bit. Let's go ahead and finish up this one. We'll drop some in over here too. So this scene is going to be mostly trees. Here. That's fun. It's so funny because I did a whole series of tree drawings years ago. So I kind of have to remind myself how to actually get them in here. And what ends up happening when you do enough of a thing, you start to develop a technique for it. And that's always the idea. That's always the way to go, honestly. You develop your own little shortcuts. But it has to be obviously rooted in, actual study of the subject itself. Like through, and maybe not like study, but, direct observation of the thing you're doing. Like, we've all seen pine trees of, like, different kinds, so I'll kind of figure out what they should look like. But I think that looks good. I'll put one right up here at the top. Wow, that looks really good. Down here, what I'm drawing, like all these lines. So, in essence, these people are really just kind of floating, and it's their cloaks that are dragging along on the ground, on the snow. So they're not leaving tracks other than just where the snow has been visibly brushed over by their cloaks. Draw some fun visual effects to really play that up as well. And then draw some cloud cover back there. Awesome. Okay. So that is page 4. Yeah. Move on to the next one. I honestly, so that is the end. What I just did here was the last of the images for chapter 1 of this act of story. Something fun there. Okay. So all of this is chapter 1. Be careful because some of that ink is still wet. Yeah, it's still very wet. But it looks good. Now we're on to chapter 2. So chapter 2 is the full original story of the Night is Our Victory. So we're now getting into the actual meat of the book. So just as a brief reminder, now that I have this camera, I can show you the whole book. This is this page right here. So we're going to start, and what chapter 2 ends up being is the whole middle of the book, which is where the original came from, and the original concept is. And it's just a reimagining and redevelopment of these interior pages with more detail and with my current level of skill. And things I can show here that I could not show for whatever reason, just because my skill was not there here. So, and I'll show the relating images when for each page for here on out. So we are going to start with our trees. as always, can vary up the line weight just a bit. Vertical tree lines. Trees here too, so let me get them in. I've actually really started to love the inking process. I had to itch my head. Scratch my head. Just because it's become really relaxing to me. It's definitely become a process I've started to look forward to. Alright, I'm sorry. Give me a moment. I gotta figure out what I'm being buzzed for. Just a moment. Okay, so I'm back. Next, I want to get our people in here. Whoops, a lot of ink there. So we have some hiding over here. And we'll roughly keep to the same shapes that, you know, these people have, except that I do want to add more detail. So by detail, I'm talking, you know, their straps, and maybe fur lining around their hems of their garments here. So we'll do something like that. And then this is just bundles of sticks. So put that in there just like that. We have lots of people in this scene, so torch. Do that. Trying to make them look warm and cozy while they're standing out in the middle of the forest in the middle of the night. Boots. Let's draw our sticks. that. More sticks. So everybody's gonna have bundles of sticks on their backs. They're gathering kindling for wood fires from the forest. Do. I hope my giant poof is not getting in the shot while my head is down. I've had that happen before. Probably hilarious because that's all you're seeing is literally the back of my head. But no end of frustrating when I go to, save these files or upload them and it's like, oh, well, I can't really see anything because my head's all up in the way. So, okay, does look like I have that problem right now. Please let me know if that does happen. And we want to get some sticks on this person here. What does that look like? Well, that's not bad. Get all my people in here. And we'll go ahead and draw the needles on these trees and all the other parts that they're supposed to have. Yep, this is the hand that's supposed to be holding the torch, so we're going to put that in the other hand instead. supposed to be more people holding torches. I feel like. We can go ahead and get all the torches in. If you have stopped by and are just lurking, thank you for coming by and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. All I'm doing is documenting my work. And kind of hanging out. Definitely hanging out. But, you know, you're always welcome here. Appreciate you coming by. I keep worried about, so the only reason I'm so concerned about my, back of my head showing up in the camera is because it's happened before, without me even realizing. It's probably like sometime last year, I was pretty much just like this, trying to draw a thing, and all you saw was just hair. So, that's why I'm sitting up more. And just sitting back a little more so I don't have that problem. But the way my camera is set up right now is that it's right here at my head, and so if I were to just lean forward even just a little bit, there's a good chance you're gonna see poof, just hair. I wanted to put little bushes, winter bushes, in the scene as well, and I just didn't really give myself space to do that properly. So they're probably not going to be here. So we should do that. Just like that. More people back here picking up stuff. I'm not rushing to get to the part where we add the tree bits, but I am looking forward to getting to that point. then we can add in all the areas where you've just kind of walked over everything. Which I can show very easily. It's just like little dips here and there, just like that. Because remember, the forest-dwelling folk float above the ground. It's the non-forest dwellers who actually walk. How about you say goodbye? Okay, there we go. That's not what I want. Okay, so there's a lot going on this page. Some trees mixed in here amongst all the fun stuff. There won't be so many pine trees here in this particular page. but there will definitely be some. There will be some. I can't see what I'm doing. Okay. I do rely on the camera to give me a stepped back view of my pages, so maybe I can actually fit in some little tiny bushes. Pretty low to the ground. Do something like that. And we'll do back here. Pines. That. Okay, so that's a little better. And then we'll put back here too. Ooh, excuse me. This tree needs some texture. I think this is looking much better than what I had originally envisioned, so that's exciting. So apparently this is a pine forest, and that's okay, it can be one. It can be a pine forest. We're gonna lean into that. We are going to lean into it. Remember correctly, pine trees definitely have these parts, branches and limbs that just kind of jut out. If I'm thinking of a different tree, well, it's too late now because these are the trees that do that. I think that'll be mostly good enough. I'm gonna get something going on over here too. Oh, let's put more bushes around. I'll probably do that on some of the other humans too. We're in a different part of the forest, so there can definitely be these little bushes and things. Okay. So that is now image number 5. We have 10 more to go. It would be so cool if I could get all final 10 images done today in the next few hours that I'll be streaming. So obviously they'll all get done. And this normally would be a streaming day for me. Normally at 7. It's kind of like my time. But with the fact that I have class tonight, I have to not be online for so long, or so late. Well, both, really, so long and so late. I want to make sure I have a little time to kind of go over at least another one of my homework assignments, and then just get myself ready for class, which is at 8. So this is now the second image here. This is the ready scene, or the roll initiative scene. So this is what we're going to be doing here. This scene is going to be a little difficult because it's so ill-defined. So what I'm going to do, before I get too much further with the inks, I'm going to actually clean this up with my pencils. Let's get in here. Not that one. This one will do. Maybe that's not what I want to do. We're gonna put you. Do this. Okay, that's good enough. Oh no, I just realized my captions aren't on. Oh, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. Alright, give me a minute to fix this. Not that they were really doing too much in the first place. Okay. Okay. Alright, so that part is done. Next, we're gonna do Do we got captions? Not yet. There we go. It captures how I speak. That's fun. Okay, so captions are now in, and I need to get back over here to y'all. Okay, perfect. Have to define the outfit a little bit. That's perfect. Well, it's fine. Not perfect, but it's fine. It will do. It will do. I will make the most of it. I think I have him right here. Or this person here. Not necessarily a him, just a presence. Behind a tree. I think there was a person here. And then we have our other people have someone climbing this tree. We have another tree climber back here. Okay, keep it loose. I think that'll work. Now we can go ahead and get all of this. Is captioner stuck? It is. Alright, let's see what's going on. Yeah, it's stuck on something. Who even knows? Are you captioning? Oh, you are not capturing anything. Oh no. This is about to be a take 5 moment. Let's redo this. Okay. Captioner, are you captioning? Okay, yes, you are. Perfect. Let's try this again. I need this out. Ba. Bit ba. Ba ba ba. Did you get that? This thing's about to get turned off, I promise you. Okay. It's doing something now. Because of course, where would we be without these issues? Okay. Okay. It's good. For now. Hopefully it stays fine. Still doing good. So if I switch back to this... Okay. Now we can... get some fun designs down on these pages. I may just save those branches till later, actually. tree. There. And this person is hiding behind a tree as well. Defined our characters and our shapes a little more with pencil, so now we can go ahead and add them into where they need to be. Do this one back here. Oops, too far forward. Tree right here. Another climber. More magic. Always more magic, whenever possible. Oh, we're mowing lawns today. It's going to be loud, and it's going to stay loud. I think it's a neighbor, like literally my next door neighbor, I think, is mowing. So, and because we have conjoined, well, undivided, I'll say, backyard. Oh, captions froze again. Imagine that. Give me a minute so I can fix it. Okay. is going on? Okay. It's kind of doing something. Except not sometimes. I don't get it. It could be related to the lag issues that I'm having, so that is always a possibility. Close up the old Discord. Not really doing anything there. And let's get back to pages. So what's really weird is that I'm watching the stream, obviously, as you're seeing it in chat, as well as through Streamlabs. And that's kind of how I'm doing my step back. And what's funny is that there is a significant delay between what I am saying and doing and what you're seeing in chat. It's kind of funny and surreal. It's like, oh, I'm in the future and you're still waiting for me to say the thing that I said a minute ago. It's pretty bizarre. Also kind of funny. Okay. So I have to be careful now, because captions if you're captioning, of course you're not. I could very easily forget where certain trees sit. So we're going to do this, so that I know there's trees right here. And we need to draw more trees up in this area. You know, this is definitely not the problem I envisioned when it came to web captioner. So I don't know what's happening with it right now, but I keep having to go back to it and fight with it to catch up. And it's doing something now, but I don't know how long that's going to last, and I think that may be related to... Okay. Maybe, hopefully, with the drop frames and the whatever issues my computer is having, which, like I said, I could not tell you. I need to learn to take my days off. It's so funny because normally on Wednesdays, before I was doing this, before I was streaming, you know, I'd be sitting here playing video games, not gonna lie. Final Fantasy XIV had caught my attention pretty heavy, and so I would be sitting here doing that right now. I'm glad I get to be productive. I would really like to know what keeps causing Web Captioner to stop. Stop working, stop functioning. It's a little annoying right now. Like I said, I just don't know enough technical stuff to be able to fix it right. Okay, so that's that. We're going to use a bigger brush now to get some of our... Oh, no. I'm going to use this one still. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Can use my bigger brush. This guy right here. Doesn't need to be the big brush that I have, but it can be this little guy. And just kind of get on in there. Part where I get to pick out where the actual trees are. He's climbing a tree right there, so we want to put, let's show the branches on this guy back here. Behind him. And the same with this one here. I do like this brush because it's not necessarily a brush that I would do for, you know, lining, but it does give me some really great texture and weight. And there it goes again. What are you going through? I think it keeps dropping my microphone. Hold on a minute. Let's restart this thing up. Okay. It says I'm too quiet, but if I were to get much louder, you wouldn't need the captions. Okay, I think it's hearing me. Okay, yes, it is. For now. Let's go back to this. Go back to that. So like it'll pick me up for a little bit and then it'll just drop again and just kind of freeze on whatever. And I don't know if I probably am not actually talking loud enough, so it probably thinks that nothing is actually happening even though I'm sitting right here. So I don't know. It's so funny because I don't really know enough about web captioner in general. I'm just happy to have it so that, you know, when I go to set up my VODs or on YouTube and just kind of have them going here, you know, we don't have to set up anything special or extra. It's, you know, the captions are baked into the actual video itself. And you can just enjoy it. In silence even, if you so wanted to. Because the captions are there. Okay, so we have more branches back here on this tree. Okay, there's that. And just to make sure I've got all my trees in, we're gonna put another one right here. So at this point, I'm using the tree textures and the pines of like the trees behind each other to actually lay out the spaces where other trees are sitting. Okay, now it's capturing me. So I probably was just talking way too low and it probably thought that nothing was happening. So we'll do that back here too and get whatever tree that is back there. Okay. And maybe over here again. Okay, perfect. And then that. And then we'll get some more of these little bushes going. Little bushes here. We're about to turn the page on this one page. Do that. Some more of these little standy-uppy bits. And I don't want to like put everything in the middle because we have to consider the actual layout here. So, you know, this character is like more towards this side and these characters are more towards that side, and that should help balance everything out. Ooh, I have a glob. Okay, so back here, let's go ahead and put a tree between these two. Okay. It's getting to be about break time, so let's go ahead and finish up this scene. We'll get the next page onto the screen, and then I'll go take my break. Oh, we want to push back there too. Should help define some of the things happening back here. Okay. So that's good for this page, right? Let's take a look. Captioner just froze up again, but at least I'm not dropping frames. So, win? Yeah, it's like dropping the microphone. That's fun. Why are you doing that? Okay. So here we go with this page. Oh, you know what? I should definitely put a little bush right here. No, I don't need to move that. You can see the whole thing. I'm always thinking that you can't really see what's happening in the corners, and I keep forgetting that you can see literally the entire desktop. Well, almost the entire desktop. Most of it. The camera is set at a height and an angle that really does allow you, my viewer, to see everything going on over here without me having to do too much. Okay. I think that will do. Oh, excuse me. Oh, there's something missing back up there. I will take my break, I promise. I'm gonna kind of get in here and get that. It's a good place for ink to be. Okay. Clean the brush off. Looks good. Looks real good. I'm really impressed with what I'm able to get done. So we're now there, and next comes this scene. So now we have our protagonists, which, you know, are, I guess, the antagonists to the other people, but they're the heroes of this story, are actually looking out over the people gathering wood. And this scene, we're behind them again, so we can keep this very simple, is this scene from the book, from the original. So we're going to recreate this page here. So lots of trees around. Yeah, we can do that. All right, I'm going to take my break, and I will be back in a couple minutes. So I will play an ad, so you will get to see an ad, and then we'll come back. And I am back. Okay. First things first. I need a handful of gummy bears. Okay. Once again, web captioner. While I'm just chewing, okay, I really would like to know what's happening. So give me just a minute. We're going to refresh this page again. Are we getting it? Yes. For now. Let's do this thing. That. I gotta figure out how the pros do this web captioner thing. Because I always have problems with it. Okay. Why are you... Okay. Okay. Anyway. So, I don't know what volume threshold this thing needs in order... Okay, so it's getting my voice now. So I guess I need to be at this volume. Like, I was seriously wondering at what volume... Lord. At what volume I need to be in order for this thing to register that I'm talking. And I guess I found it. Nope, too quiet, too quiet, too quiet. Okay, it's getting me now. Hopefully that stays that way. I don't want to get too loud. I mean, it's just a Sunday, wow. Wednesday afternoon. Your bag rustling. And yeah, I mean, there's obviously going to be parts where I am just not saying anything. And it'll say, too quiet. So, I don't know. Maybe I just need to go back to the, the other capture. Or continue playing around with web capture until I can figure it out. Come to me, gummy bears. I also have water. Because of course. Because of course. Shoot there. Okay. I think when it's at nighttime, I don't usually have this problem, but during the daytime, I tend to be a little softer and quieter. It's weird. Okay. So. Let me pull this back up. And we're going to go in for it. Oh, actually. I want you to reshape my ink. Just to get the particulates flowing again. Okay. It's nice to shaken up. Pop the bubbles. We have a tree right here. chew, chew, chew. And it stops because I stopped talking, so... So, come on, thing. That is just the worst. I don't know why I'm having this issue all of a sudden. I don't think I was ever having this issue before. If I was, certainly no one said anything. Alright, so now let's go ahead and talk our way through this scene here. This particular scene, when I first published The Night Is Our Victory, like literally the first printing of it, this page, this scene was the original cover. It was quiet and soft, but also hinted at the action to come, and that's why I chose it, because I thought it would make... it really did make a really nice cover. And then when I decided to do a second printing, I changed out the cover image because I wanted something that could just be the cover. I was on this trip where I was like, oh, well, you know, all of the covers to my books need to be like a potential print, so they need to be their own image. Which, I mean, I'm still kind of on that trip, so... You know, that's kind of a thing. Like, if I wanted to make prints of the covers, again, they'll be their own image, so I won't have to... Well, I was doing a whole lot anyway, but, you know, it's like, it's its own thing, and it was its own identifier as, like, being related to this particular work. Without being an image from the interiors of that work. So that was what that was. And I liked this page. It was actually a really good shot. So, you know, at this point, trying to recreate it, obviously going to be different. But... so far, I like this page too, and especially with what I've been doing with the trees. That's kind of my favorite thing right now. So, like, I'm really digging my trees. Oh, excuse me. Gummy bear gas. Okay. His arms out at his side. Put his hands up. Do the same for this one right here. Oh, he's standing next to a tree. Or, this person is standing next to a tree. They are standing next to a tree. Let me get it right. I know better. That's the thing, is, you know, it's not really a he until, you know, they've been identified as such, so not a problem. And again, this thing must have, I don't know, lowered its threshold or something. know what, we're gonna do something real quick. We're gonna put the other captioner on, maybe. Maybe, I think. Are you gonna behave? No? Maybe? Okay, you're kind of doing what I need you to do. Alright, so... I don't want to end up spending so much time trying to figure out the captions here. But I may have to. Because I'm trying to speak in a normal, more natural voice for me, but web captioner wants me to talk almost at the top of my voice, and that's not sustainable for me. I definitely do not want to do that. Like, I can get loud, but I don't want to be right now. Absolutely not. Okay. So we're going to go to that tree there. Got branches and things sticking up over here. Got a little bush here. We got a big bush right there. Big bush right there. Okay. It's gonna get weird. Don't want it to get weird. It's already weird enough. We are weird enough. We don't need to do anything else. Add any extra. And thankfully, since all these people are way back here in the background, we don't really need to do too much. What in the world is that? Okay, that's fine. I think also I was closer to the microphone in general, and I think they may have also helped with web captioner actually hearing me. So all of our little circles over here are where torches are. People are holding torches, and that's enough of that. We can do that, so we can say that, you know, people have bundles of sticks on their backs. Uh-oh, they're seen. This is where the chaos comes in. So let me go ahead and get the rest of these trees in here, because it's about to be a scene. Add some texture there. It's so funny how I feel like I always do better after breaks. I don't know, maybe just an opportunity to get my life together here. I'm gonna put you there instead of like right here in front of us. And all the rest of our trees. Do that for your bundle. That for your bundle. Wipe the brush. Let's add this here. Do that for your bundle. Let's put you in there first before we say you have a bundle. Remember, they're wearing coats and winter skirts, so you can draw like this little hemline right here. Okay. And we still have more trees to do. It's actually coming really, really well. I'm liking what I've got. About to have a blob. Okay. Don't want that to happen. Let's get your bundle there and yours. You're going to go like that. And then you will go, well, we'll do that. Do I want a tree right here? Maybe. Let's at least get the rest of these trees back here, though. Yeah, we want this guy right here. That tree, rather. Not a guy. Okay. And next, let's get the ground in. So we want some more bushes, and we have, let's put another person right here. And we'll get our ground, get some bushes, bush. I think I lost captioner again. See, like I said, I'm like, this is not natural for me to speak at that volume. Like regularly. And like just a brief moment of silence and it cuts off again. It loses microphone connection. I don't know. Whatever. We're gonna go back to the regular caption. It's just gonna have to be that way. So I'll fix that in a minute. So they've been walking kind of all over the place down here. So we want to put little depressions to, indicate footprints in the snow. Where they've been standing and walking. And then we want to get our little grasses and things that are just kind of sticking up like this. Oops. And we're going to go back to the thinner brush. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? So I have these liner brushes that I bought that I haven't used yet. I wonder how they will hold up. So here's my liner brush. I don't know if you can see that. We'll put it right here so you can kind of see what I'm working with. Captioner just went off again. Okay. Liner brush. This guy right here. So let's play around with this one. See what that looks like. Oop. Big glob. Okay, that's pretty neat. I can get the same kind of point, though, on the first brush that I was using. But this is like really nice for... This is really nice for detailing. I will definitely use this in other works. I mean, heck, if I can make sense of it right now, or make use of it right now, of course I can make sense of it right now. If I can make use of it for this book, then I will use it on another page. That's a tree. Gotta draw my horizon line right through my tree. That's not a tree. That's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Okay. Yeah, that's really great. Okay, I like it. A lot. Okay. Hold that in reserve. Give me just a minute. Ah, no, come back. That. And then, nope. Make sure that this is actually on. We're going to use the Twitch closed captioner, so turn on. Okay. I'm going to pin that to here. We should be, yes, okay, we are in business. So I have turned on the captioner. So you can actually see what I'm saying thanks to the captions, and we're just going to use that. I'm going to turn off this thing, so that's going away. Alright, now I can focus and concentrate knowing that you can actually, even if you cannot hear what I'm saying, for whatever reason, you can still at least read it. I'll leave that in your capable hands. So now we just have this empty space that's down there in the lower right, which, I don't know, we'll figure something out to put down there. Alright, back to work. I think I can manage with everything else now that that is on. We're going to get rid of this. And then I'm going to get rid of... Can I close this without having any issues with the captions? Okay, yeah, I can. Okay. And you can, on your view of the stream, you can actually move the captions box around the screen the way you want to. What I should do, though, is let's go with like medium-sized text. That way I'm not, making it exceptionally difficult for you to read the text, the caption. So, and you can always... And the great thing about the Twitch captions is that you can always turn them off for yourself. So I have them on so that I know that they're working, but I don't really need them on. And you may not want them on either, so you can always turn those off. So we'll just have to deal with the fact that these are the captions we're going to be using. Okay. So what I want to do, I just grabbed the wrong brush, I think. Yeah, I did. I can actually talk in my normal voice now. We're gonna go and get these trees blocked in here. So just like I did on the previous page, we're gonna block out our empty spaces between the trees. Just to get our treetops in there. That. And then we want this one. I think, you know what we're going to do? Next time I do an artist technique, we'll do a tree study. I think that'll be cool. Because I think at this point I've painted enough of these pine trees to, you know, kind of get my technique for them down, but let's do a tree study. So I'll grab some reference. We'll load that up. We'll just have fun with that. Phantom tree back here. Nothing close to the top of there. Okay. Oop, you know what's missing? There's this whole gap over here on this side that is just missing a whole lot of everything. So we want to fill this in over here. So make sure that this side doesn't get missed. I'll even put a person over here just to make it look like we're really doing something. So it's not the brush here that's, you know, just by itself making these very bold lines. It's really how I've been using it, so. But I don't think that I want to use this brush for this fine detail. Like, that's why I have different brushes. So I like this brush for doing the tops of the trees and making sure that all the limbs and things are on here. And just kind of naturally, according to the brush itself, naturally. Thicker brush strokes. Oh, there's a person supposed to be here. Put you in. I'm about to do the same thing on this side. The whole area just devoid of detail. And I'll go back to using my other brush for this. Aha. I'm ha-haing because of the captions working properly, finally. So we'll just use normal Twitch captions. Like, I like web captioner because I like it because I can have it directly on the stream itself. So whenever a VOD happens, it's like you're still seeing the captions. Can't do that with the Twitch captioner, but it's fine, I guess. Alright, so... Oh, we're getting to the fun. Alright, let's recap first. We have this page here that I just finished. We've gotten through 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 pages so far. We're definitely not halfway through chapter 2. So, we've only just begun. I think we're like 3 pages into chapter 2. But, you know, that's still significant. And I think it's taken me so long simply because of fighting with the captioner, but also like wanting to do these tree details, like wanting to get those in right. It takes time. But we're getting some good stuff. Sorry about that pause. So yeah, we've got some really good stuff going on here. So there's that one. We're gonna put... This actually is a he. We're gonna put his face in here. A little later. I just wanted to stand back and admire my work. And of course we have these places here. Things get a little lost over here. I need to figure out what's happening there. I like this page. I really do like that. Oh no, come back. I really do like that page. This is all like thinner brush work, and then you get to this and everything is just this like really thick brush strokes. So I should probably keep it consistent with my brush usage. And that's the cover. It's just that it'll look very obviously like this was done in like 2 different sittings. If it doesn't look like there are 2 different people doing it. The key to good comic art is consistent looks across the project itself, or at least within the same book. This is where we get fun. Okay, maybe. I'm trying to get... Okay, there we go. It's weird. I was trying to get the camera to be properly parallel with the surface of the table, or with the edge of the table. More gummy bears! And more water. So, it should be a fun page. Should be able to get this done pretty fast, I think. I don't know. How long have I been going? Like a couple of 2.5 hours, actually almost 3. So, doing alright. Okay. Brush is just a little too wet. And then we have this person down here. So much magic. All of the magic. Do this. And get this in here. I am mumbling, so don't even worry about it. Can't hear what I'm saying. Not really saying anything. Okay. Get this person here. And as I said earlier, to just trust the lines that I've already got onto the page, the pencils that I've already got there, and just kind of let that happen. Hi, Adimara. How are you today? So glad you could stop by. Hello, my talented friend. Thank you. How's everything? Get all up in here. Into that. And then get this person here. That. And then we're in here. Get this. And we'll trust the lines that I've got. Put that in there. And again, let's trust our lines. We have someone over here running. Let's go ahead and, we know there's going to be branches on this person's back. And then This person is kind of engulfed by this spell here hitting them, square in the chest. We have, this is another person running. Yeah, that's another person back here running. This torch is going flying. So this is our foreground. And then we want to do some twigs over there. Do this here. Okay, and now let's go ahead and get some of these trees in. Oh, actually. Okay, now we get the trees in. This is going to be a fun scene. The next page is actually going to be really busy. We'll get through it though. One breath at a time. One breath, one brush stroke at a time. And the entire scene is at an angle. So that means action, attitude. Speed, movement, all that stuff. I keep it basic. Get these going, some bundles, and we have more frozen grass and all this ground going on here. It's looking good. We need a tree right back here. So this is going to be interesting when I want to go ahead and put in the needles for these pines. Is you're going to be seeing them from the underside of the tree, so that's going to be the challenge. But I think I can probably get away with some fun ways of showing that. And we want this section over here. And while we're back here, we want to see someone just kind of coming down that way. So there's that. And we're going to take our thick brush here and draw in our twigs. Okay. We'll do that. And then this. And that. Oh, get something going on back here too. Okay, so now the fun part, getting the needles in. So we want to kind of do a layered look. So it'll still do that, but now we get to do, you know, some behind it too. So some of the needles be on top of the tree layer and some will be under it, so it'll have kind of this thing going on. As we can see, you know, the branches underneath it as well, or the branches behind each tree. And this is how we'll fill up some of this background negative space. different directions. So at this angle is where we get to really see some of the depth of the trees themselves, which is really great. So I'm going to get in up here. Do this. Get in some stuff behind it. We can get a whole tree in here, so we can just kind of make that look like a normal one, just because of where we are in relation to it. So we don't have to try so hard for the depth look, or the look of depth. Let me put it that way. We'll do one way back here too. Looks good. Same thing over here. Do one right in here. Yeah, let's get one right in here. This is probably the most detail I've put into these trees at all in this entire series. So, since, first starting it. Originally, it was just, you just got to see the trunks. Oh, I didn't show you the page where this comes from. That's the thing I forgot to do. Okay, so here's the original book. And I changed a few things around, and you can pretty clearly see the differences. So we have, this is the original page from the book. So it's a very different looking scene. I just filled it out a little more. Gave it a little more action and then a little more movement to the right. Which is always the intention. So we're actually about to finish this page up. I say page, this drawing. Let's get a tree back here. those there. Let's put another one directly behind these two here. Want more depth than a little bit. And this is how we fill up that space back there. It's looking real good. Do the same thing over here. Now, like I said, we're only just doing like a handful, like just 2 colors, blue and brown, throughout the whole thing, with, you know, some white space left to, you know, kind of have that extra contrast. So there's really not going to be a whole lot going on with different colors. So it'll work really well, I think. Put another tree back here. And the last thing I want to add are our bushes, which we'll do really tiny, right up in here. There. Got this person running over there. We'll put another little bush right there. Out there. And do something else for that little area. Okay. I like this. No, this looks good. This looks good just the way that it is. I have to remember that these are deliberately empty of like detail. But one thing I do need to get in is the trunks, these trees, need texture. Let's go ahead and get that in. It is 4:21. I'm probably going to call it in a little bit. Maybe. Yeah, I probably should call it really soon. I have a class at 8, and I'm going to get some time to get another assignment done before the weekend. Or at least before class starts, so. I got either my accounting homework or my business writing homework. Business writing class is at 8 tonight. So I can probably get something done tonight before I get started with that class. So, yeah, I think it's definitely time to go ahead and call it here. Oops. Okay. We actually got a lot done tonight. I keep saying tonight. It is not tonight. It is today. So that's 1, 2, what did I say? Like 4 pages tonight? Today? 5. I got 5 pages done today. Yeah, that was the goal, and I hit it. So here we are, 5 pages done. Wow. Let's see. I have... What's next? So the next time I am before you with... Ooh! So that's... I have 7 pages left? Yep, 7 pages left. So I will continue making some strides towards getting this book done this week. So we definitely want to get, as much done. So I'll try and see if I can get some opportunity to get online on Friday. Friday night is a normal stream night for making comics. So I'll try to get some time in to get some more of these pages done. So what did I say? I had like 7 left. So if I can actually finish this chapter out, the last 4 drawings are chapter 3. So the rest of chapter 2 is 3 pages. If I can finish these 3 pages Friday, like that's the plan, that's the goal, is to finish these 3 pages on Friday, then I should be able to come back on Saturday for a little bit to get the last 4, and that'll finish us out for the week. Provided nothing else happens. No, nothing should happen unless, of course, something does happen. I just finished a class. I'm in the middle of another one. I don't have any exams coming up anytime soon. Not until next week, actually, so for my accounting class. And then I have another class, my business writing class, just started up this week, so, I just have homework assignments to get through that. And I'll be doing that for the rest of the week. So, should be fine, should be able to get this book done. This week is for inking. That is the plan. I will come back as soon as I can. We'll be able to go through it. Thank you, everyone, for stopping in and hanging out. We are going to... I don't know if anybody's online. Who is here? Let's go hang out with... Let's go hang out with the Proud Owl. I should be able to raid him. Let's go hang out with him. I wonder what they're working on. Where? So, thank you everyone for coming by and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. So we're going to go hang out with the Proud Owl for a little bit, and then we're going to call it a night. I will see you all later. Like I said, we'll do some stuff on Friday, hopefully, and that'll be that. All right, everybody, take care.